Let me tell y'all something. You're going to think that I'm lying about this. I'm not making it up. It's two things, two slogans, right? One is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Two is, a sucker is born every day. Remember those two phrases, slogans, whatever you want to call them. Mantras. That if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And there's a sucker born every damn day. Trust me when I tell you this. That when it's all said and done, Polite is gone. Young Pharaoh's gone. Dr. Umar's gone. Sinetta is gone. There will be a whole new batch that's going to replace them. And they're going to follow this system, which is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. In other words, there's money still to be made in the conscious community. Because what? There's a sucker born every day. And if you don't educate your children on these cult leaders, pedophiles that are in the conscious community, they're going to be tricked and deceived by that new batch that I'm talking about. That's going to replace your Pediolite. That's what I wanted to call them, originally. Your young Pharaoh, your Dr. Umars, your Sinettas. That plain and simple. There's money to be made. And here in the conscious community, you can make money off of people's ignorance. You can. It is true that black people don't read. And in the conscious community, it's not so much that they don't read. It's just that they don't read in between the lines. And they get caught up in the sparkles. The things that they run away from. Because they say that, America's Babylon. And, America deals with materialistic people and materialistic things. And they worship cars, clothes, and houses and shit. But you worship a man that worships that shit called Polite. You fell for the okie dokie. You fell for the fat asses, the Versace, the Bentley cars that he was driving. And now look at you, looking like a fucking idiot. Being that he took all your goddamn money. And I know that he didn't literally kill Crypto Roots. But in his case, he took Crypto Roots' life. And now he's in court for touching a little girl. And you all are still backing him. I check on his Instagram account every now and then. And the last time I checked, he gained an extra 2,000 to 3,000 followers on Instagram. This man is using, I said this before, he's using this shit as a marketing and advertising tool. This man got a court date February the 15th. He can continue this shit. He can push this shit back. While this child that he touched is traumatized and wants to get this shit over with. But Pediolite is having a good old time. It's your fault. You gave him the money. You put the battery in his back. I always knew Pediolite was a cornball. Always knew it. I just didn't know that he was gonna turn the way he did. Well, I'll at least say as fast as he did. I thought he was gonna put in a little bit, a little time. Dr. York, he dragged y'all along. Or should I say us along. And he made a lot of money throughout the course of the years. And then burnt out. It's not what happened to Polite. He got on top and then all of a sudden, boom, he wanted to be the true person that he wanted to be. He thought he can get away with the shit that he was doing. There's no telling how many children he's touched. No telling. When it comes to him and Dwight York, also known as Dr. Malachi York. But there's money in the conscious community to be made. There is. Sinetta tapped into it. Polite tapped into it. Dr. Umar tapped into it. These people ain't leaders. They're not teachers. No, they're hustlers. And the thing of it is that some of you all don't want to admit that you've been tricked. And want to laugh at me when I told the world, potentially the world, because everybody hasn't seen my videos. When I told the world that I used to believe in a person that said he was from another planet, you all laughed and joked at me. But at least I was being honest. At least I didn't hide behind, my bullshit. At least I came. At least I stood in front of that mirror and said to myself, yo, you've been had, you've been tricked. You've been deceived. Get over it. Take the L. You haven't. You all haven't, though. As of yet. But you practice cognitive dissonance. You know deep inside your mind. You don't want to tell anyone. Deep inside your mind, you got fucked over by Polite. Young Pharaoh, you truly believed in those people. You gave them your money and all of that. You just don't want to tell anybody because you don't want to be embarrassed. You don't want to be ashamed of yourself. And I get it. But this is not about you. This is about our children. This is about their future. And if you don't come clean and tell people, let the youth know, hey, listen, I got fucked over by Polite. I gave him $30,000. I gave him $40,000. I signed over my house to him. I gave away cars, whatever. If you don't tell them that, and listen, you can get fucked over too. Because it may be another person that's going to come up in the ranks, and his name may not be Polite. And he may not look like Polite. He may not walk or talk like Polite. But at the end of the day, he is Polite. Watch out for him. If you don't forewarn the children, the youth, that they're going to go through the same shit that you went through, that I went through, as well as others. And trust me, there's going to be a new batch of people in the conscious community coming soon. Trust me. I've seen it. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen, what was it? The first batch was, it was Noble Drew Ali, Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, that, not like in the same, as, because I don't want, how you all get technical and say, such and such and such. I'm just talking about in general. Like that batch, right? Malcolm X, Elijah Muhammad, Dr. Martin Luther King. Some people may not say he wasn't conscious, but he did fight for our people. You had the Black Panthers, and then they brought in your Bobby Hemmett, your Phil Valentine, your Dr. Malachi York, the bald-headed what was his name? Khalifa, I think that was his name, Muhammad. I may be totally wrong, but the guy with the bald head that you all said that government killed him in the hospital or whatever. That was part of the Nation of Islam. And then you had Farrakhan. And then after that, you had your Polites, your, what's that dude, Muhammad, I forgot his name, that was with Sinetta. That came on Black News 102, Sinetta TV. You had Baby Iman Bashir. You had, what's the dude, Shaka Amos. You had young Pharaoh. You had all of them. Hebrew Israelites. And there's going to be a new batch. Because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And there's a lot of money to be made in the conscious community. Because a sucker is born every day. And really, it's not even so much of a sucker being born every day. There's a person that's being born every day that doesn't know nothing, that hasn't been educated about the conscious community and how foul motherfuckers are in the conscious community. The reason why they haven't been educated on that is because their fucking parents are suckers and fools that fell for that bullshit, that just don't want to admit to their children that they fucked up. Because they got this whole persona that they trying to, you know what I'm saying, give to their children as if, you know, they did no wrong, that they were perfect. But guess what? You ain't no different from the fucking Christians. That's the reason why the children, the youth don't want to be part of the church. Because Christians always want to start from, they want to start their inception when they got saved. No, bitch, you were sucking dick and smoking crack before you got saved. Tell those people what you were doing and what made you get saved. And then when those people listen to that story, they'll say, you know what? Maybe if I get saved, it'll work for me. Because that bitch over there was sucking dick and she was fucking smoking crack. And this is what Jesus did for her when she got saved. But you don't want to talk about that story. You get on me when I, tell people about the shit that I've been through. And many times and several times I've been tricked and deceived. No, I'm not even really talking to you. I'm really talking to the youth. And I'm telling the youth, this is what happened to me, so it won't happen to you. That's what I'm about. Other than that, I'm not into telling people my business. Man, if you all have the honor and privilege, I'm just playing. If you all ever meet me, you'll see just how quiet I am. Now, if you get me riled the fuck up, this is how I'm gonna be. Other than that, I'm cool, collective, all of that. And I'm not the type of person to be running my motherfucking mouth, especially about my personal life, unless it's there to help someone. So say, for example, if the doctor said you're vitamin D deficient and you're suffering from rickets, and what we're gonna have to do, your leg is bent, right? Bent out, right? One of your legs is. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to break your leg in 3 or 4 different places and put stem rods in your leg so we can straighten it out. Now, check this out. My daughter, right, when she was 3 years old, she's heavily melanated. In other words, for you derelicts, she's a dark-skinned girl, right? That's what the doctor said to me. I said, oh no. We took her home. We got her on some vitamin D3, calcium, herbs, veggie capsules, herbs. We gave her food that was high in calcium and vitamin D3. We took her outside, had her outside most of the time so she can get that natural sun vitamin D, and her legs straightened the fuck up. Straightened up. Now, I would never tell anyone that shit unless they were going through the same shit that my daughter went through when she was young. That's the only reason why I tell my personal business, is to help others. Other than that, I don't run my fucking business about my shit. I don't. I really don't. But yeah, man, there's money to be made. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And a sucker's born every day. Polite took your money. Dr. Malachi took mine. Young Pharaoh took yours. Dr. Umar took yours. And guess what? Coming another couple years, it may be less than that. If you don't educate your children and and let them know about your pediolites, short for pedosexual, because Polites, he likes little girls, and we don't know if he likes little boys either. We haven't found that out yet. But if we don't forewarn them, let them know ahead of time what to look out for, then guess what? Our children's children, every generation will get scammed by someone like a Polite, a Young Pharaoh, a Dr. Umar, a Dr. Malachi, and the list goes on. So please, sit down, no matter how old your child is, as long as they can comprehend what you're saying, educate them, let them know what to look out for. You understand? Other than that, I want you to all comment, subscribe, definitely share this video.